Trying to live my life better every day.
Yeah.
Don't take for granted.
Certain people to be able to have certain conversations.
Right.
Not everybody can have top
Hey,
tier mature conversations with people.
yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't like talking about um, socio-political, spiritual, racial, and in some cases economic
Yeah.
situations.
Right.
Some
Right.
people don't. Some people are not comfortable with those conversations because um, they don't know they don't know how their temperament is going to get if if the conversation escalates to a certain level.
Yeah.
You know what I
Definitely,
mean?
man. Definitely.
So
Definitely.
so a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that situation, with those conversations, and some of them are uncomfortable with with the conversations because they themselves are not as well versed on on the topic from a historical context as they feel that they need to be in order to have that kind of a conversation on an intellectual level, um, and still keep a certain level of respect in the conversation and have control of your emotions as the conversation escalates. So a lot of people just don't like having a conversation at all. Um, my thing is, I have a question. Is My question is, when is it race and when is it nationality for people outside looking in? Do you
That's
understand what
deep
I'm
right
saying?
there. Yeah, that's deep right there.
When is it race
Right. Right.
and when is it nationality for people outside looking in?
Right.
Because if a particular fighter makes a particular comment, in this case, Devin Haney's saying that um, there's no he's not gonna get beat by a Caucasian fighter. And I know people want to get stuck on the phrase white boy. Um, I know white guys who I've known for uh, long periods of time, almost
Yeah.
two
Same.
decades,
Yeah.
who had uh, in-depth interaction on this particular topic and other topics surrounding race for years, as long as
Right.
he's known me. Shout out to Drew. But um, and I always appreciate his feedback because he doesn't get caught up in his emotions. That goes back to my me saying how everybody can't have these kind of conversations because they can't control their their emotions when the conversation goes in the way that they didn't know was going to go, or they hear information that they didn't um, know about. Um,
Right.
so anyways, but it's very hard for certain people to have these kind of conversations. So
Yeah.
my thing is, like I said, when is it nationality and when is it race, and who are you to
Right.
determine which one is which?
Right. Right.
Which
Right. Right.
who am I to determine which one is which, and how do
Right.
we base that?
Yeah.
You know, I called into Champ's side the other night, and I was elaborating on that a little bit, and I was saying how when it comes to like black fighters,
Right.
excuse me, quote unquote black fighters, we may talk about things from a quote unquote black perspective.
Right.
And when people outside of our nationality or our ethnic group hear these things, they interpret it as um, it being a racial component. But what
Mm.
they don't understand is, from a national perspective, we understand subconsciously that this nation of the United, that's considered the United States of America, doesn't see us as a part of that nation.
Right.
We're just talking about
Yeah.
in generally speaking. The reason I say that is because um, we as people, as a people in this country, let's take boxing because we're talking about boxing. Let's use that for an example. When a quote unquote fighter that comes out of the United States, and he's a United States based fighter, right? uh, and let's say he goes through the Olympic trials, and
Hmm.
he's going through the nationals and the Olympic trials. He's doing it under the banner of USA Boxing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Then when he turns pro, he is doing it under the banner of usually the United States nation, right?
Right. Right.
However, when that same fighter goes and fights a fighter from another country,
Right.
many American-based boxing fans or fight fans side with the fighter from the other country.
Which is crazy. That's crazy. It always happens that way too.
So as boxers, they understand that.
Mhm.
So what they do is they don't associate um, only. I said only. They don't associate only with being a United States boxer or an American boxer. They
Right.
associate with their nationality, which is themselves being black. So what they do is they represent the black people within the
Right.
nation of the United States of America.
That is deep,
And
bro.
that rubs
That's
people the
deep.
wrong way. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
deep.
So
Yeah.
that rubs people the wrong way. Um, so, for example, if Floyd Mayweather fights, um, if Floyd Mayweather fights
I know Pacquiao's too
Marcos
easy for
Maidana,
you. Yeah.
let's say Floyd Mayweather fights Marcos Maidana,
Right.
you
Right.
start to see an overwhelming majority of people who were born and raised in the United States of America, go for and cheer the opponent.
Yeah.
And Floyd's sitting there talking about, hey, didn't I not represent the country in the Olympics?
Crazy, bro.
How you often hear Floyd say things like, this fighter has an entire country behind him.
Hmm.
We're going to go this direction because this fighter has an entire country behind him.
Right.
He understands I don't have an entire country behind me.
That's sad too, bro.
And it is that, but it's more importantly, it's reality.
No.
It's
Yeah, it definitely is. It
it's our
definitely is.
reality.
Right.
And in
Yep.
our reality, what black athletes and black fighters need is other quote unquote black media to be the buffer between themselves and the general public who don't understand our lingo.
Hmm.
They don't understand our perspectives. They hear us talking English words, but it doesn't make sense to them.
And that's where you come in. That's why it's great. I remember telling you that, having a because we talk a lot offline anyway, but
In fact, 20 years.
people don't know, bro. People don't know, like, the information. Just piggybacking off what you said, we need people like you in the forefront of everything you just explained right there, because I truly believe it's two things. People either they love the sport of boxing and they just side with who's popular, and maybe they just hate the guy because everybody else hates the guy. And they are just like, they're not aware of what you just said. And then you have people that are aware of that and they just ride the wave with it, And it is sad, especially when, you broke it down beautifully, bro. Because when you look at these other boxers from other countries, you said it, and you're right. They have their whole country. Their whole country's behind them. Manny Pacquiao has the whole Philippines. Even that UFC fighter that Mayweather fought. What's his name?
Conor McGregor. But
Yeah.
this is my thing, though. I don't mean to cut your train of thought.
No,
but
go ahead. No, this is
my
your
thing
platform.
is,
Go ahead, bro.
it's not only that Manny Pacquiao has his own country. What
Right.
people need to understand is that when it's a black boxer, Manny Pacquiao has the country that the black boxer is from as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are Filipinos who were born, raised, and only know the United States of
Right.
America.
Yeah.
And they may not even really be boxing fans, but they know they're Americans. However, when the American fighter fights the Filipino fighter, they side with their people.
They're
That's
people.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
Yep.
not.
That's
They're,
true,
you
man.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
Americans. They're American
They're
citizens
definitely
like we're American citizens. But they
right.
don't associate with being American in that moment. They associate with their
They're
people
people. Yeah.
from their nationality. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
true. Yeah, that's
So
true.
that's the thing that I feel that people don't understand when they hear a black boxer say the word black and then start talking, or a black
Yeah.
athlete, or a black entertainer, or a politician. Anyone says black, X, Y, and Z. They
Right.
when they hear that, they think of race relations,
Right.
and then so their mind
Right.
starts to automatically go into race relation issues and race relation topics from a racially based perspective.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, when is it nationality and when is it race?
And it's
And who are you
race.
to
Yeah.
say if you're not from that particular background and you can understand the way that person is trying to elocute what they're saying?
Right.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you need those buffers like Black Fight Fan, Champ Side, Barbershop Conversations,
The Sweet
Blue Blood
Science
Sports
Examiner.
TV, Sweet Science Examiner.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Definitely.
The athletes need that. They they
Yeah.
um, they need that because when you go listen to, like, let's say if Juan Manuel Marquez or Canelo Alvarez or somebody has a fight, what do you always notice? Even Vasil Lomachenko, when they have fights, they have a translator with them so
Yeah.
that they're not misunderstood by the public
Right.
when they speak or answer questions. They
Right.
have that buffer. These guys know English.
Right.
They know English. They understand it,
Yeah.
but they still have a translator so that nothing goes wrong.
Right.
And
Yeah, man.
a lot of times, if you have a person that's with you that, like, let's say if I'm watching a fight with one of my Mexican brothers, right? If I'm watching a fight with a Mexican brother and he understands Spanish fluently, as a matter of
Right.
fact, their English would be their second language, Spanish would be their first language. When they're
Yeah.
watching these interviews, they'll tell me right away, that's not what that fighter said. When the translator says what they say, the
Right.
person that I trust, the
Yeah.
person that I know is telling me,
Right.
Tank, that is not what that fighter just said.
Like you said, he got the buffer.
Mariah
Clean
made
it
you leave.
up.
What's up,
Yeah.
Mariah? Tell my other niece I said hello, Trinity. I love you both. Tell Donovan I say hello too. And your mom and your dad. I'm bad to talk to my
No,
niece.
no,
She's
that's
trying
all.
to get in
Hey,
here.
it's your
And
platform, brother.
Mariah.
I'm just here enjoying the
But
moment with you, man. Just getting
yeah,
all this good game from you.
but you understand what I'm saying though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have those situations where that is upfront and prominent.
Mm.
You can't help but
Yeah.
to notice it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so if they have a translator for their protection, so that they're
Hmm.
not misunderstood and they don't blow the bag by
Right.
saying
Right.
something off the
Right.
cuff,
Right. Right.
we should have that too,
I
because
like that. Yeah, I like that.
just like my Mexican brothers with me can say that's not what that fighter said, or that's not
Yeah.
what that fighter meant.
Right.
Black media can say that's not what that fighter is saying. That's not what that fighter meant.
Right. I like that. I
Devin
like that.
Haney, Devin Haney may have said that, but that's not
Right.
what Devin Haney meant.
Got you. That is important for real, man. I like that. I like that
You understand what I'm
analogy.
saying?
You know, that's true, bro. That's really true.
Because we have a
You,
different lingo within the American
yeah,
language.
yeah. Yep, everything, right? I mean, the lingo, the way they walk, like you said, the lingo, the way they talk, the lifestyle, whatever they do, we totally understand it. And then with you and the other platforms that you brought up earlier, it's so vital and important, man. Everything you just broke down is, man, I totally agree and understand it and support that 1,000%, bro. Because nobody's doing it for us, right? And then you do have the commentators like and I'm gonna say the name like Stephen A. Smith and guys like that. You know, we know they're all backed by either Fox, ESPN, and stuff like, stuff of that nature, but they're not raw and uncut and thick like you and all the other guys that have those platforms and clear cut, and that's going to give it to you raw. So yes, man, I definitely understand what you're talking about on that. That's definitely important. Definitely important, man. That's why I was just saying when we usually talk, you know, even like, what did I tell you? I was like, nowadays YouTube and everything else is like the modern TV, right? Because you can have people give you the raw and uncut, unfiltered version of what you've seen on the news, or they'll break the story before the news break the story. So, like, again, just bringing it back, like you said, we need people that's going to be able to interpret it for our boxes, people like us. So yeah, I agree, brother.
And even more importantly than having a platform to explain to our own people,
yeah,
it's more important that we are the buffer to explain to other people who don't understand us.
Yeah,
that's mainly my focus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, Devin Haney may have said this. That's not what he meant.
Yeah.
That way, when the mainstream media gets a hold of it and they run with it, we're the buffer that says, no. That's just how black folks talk. That's how we talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like on the flip end, when, like I said, you have a person that speaks Ukrainian as their first language or Spanish as their first language, they have that buffer to say, that's what they said, but we're going to elaborate and say what they meant. And that's why my brothers or sisters, whoever I have that speaks Spanish that's with me, when they're watching the fights with me, and they tell me that this is in the interview or post-fight interview or pre-fight interview, when the person is speaking in Spanish, they say, that's not what they said. The translator didn't translate what they said. They said blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we should be afforded the exact same buffer for us. Just because we speak in English don't mean we saying the same thing.
Right.
We're using English words, you know?
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
You know, I always make the analogy that if we went to England, right? If we went to England, and I told some guy in Europe, hey, those shoes are fly. They may tell me my shoes don't have wings.
That's true, though. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man.
The shoes are fly. They don't have wings. How can they be? I don't understand. What do you mean fly? So just because we're using the same words and English words, I mean, we're talking about the same thing.
Right.
And our lingo is a certain way, and the way we carry ourselves is a certain way that I believe that it's necessary that we have our own people in positions of media in place to be able to elaborate on our perspectives. Stephen A. Smith and these guys that you name, Shannon Sharps of the world, you know, they're cool. I mean, I don't have, you know, because they're representing us in corporate America in that kind of a platform to show that we can do it there as well.
Yeah.
But with that said, there's still room and necessity for us to have the platform that we have on this level, to where we can talk directly to the people without having to think in the back of our mind that we're going to blow the bag by saying it how we think it as well.
Yeah, you got to know it's been a long time coming. Yeah, some niggas that I run with, sitting up in jail cells suffering, sitting on the outside suffering. Hard to imagine that close to you living life so tragic. So I spit it so graphic. Poverty on my blocks by the masses.